so we are going to do a bit of an update video today, and what we'll do is walk around the farm, go from area to area and tell you what's been going on throughout the last month, because we haven't seen a video now for a little while. So what we'll do is just come in with the cows for a minute. So all of the ladies in here are in the next few weeks due to calve, but last month we had the guys from Moo Shoes come down, foot trimmers, and they went through the whole herd. Yeah, there was a few in here with some dodgy claws. There was one in here with a very sore front foot. We had two in here that had to have blocks on, so we're keeping an eye on those. There is number 308 in here, and she actually had a whole sole removed, so they put a block on her, and that should put her right, hopefully. But she's still limping about, but it's going to take a little while for her to get back better on that one. Yeah, those guys came down. I did a time lapse of those. Hopefully I'll overlay the time lapse for you so you can see what was going on. We did the bulls as well, so their feet are all nice and trimmed up. Lovely. They did a really good job. They had two crushes here. It was a fantastic, it was a good day, and I didn't film it, and I wish I had. But next time they come, if they come with the same setup, we will film it for you. 2-3 weeks these guys will be having calves, and there will be new life at the farm, which we're all excited about. I love this time of year where the cows start having calves, you know, seeing new life and stuff like that. And I am hoping the farmer will teach me how to calve a cow that is struggling. You know, we don't mess about here. If a cow's struggling and there's something wrong, we have them in, we look at them and we assess the situation, and if they're due to calve, we will just help them out with it. We won't mess about. Once they're in the clamp and we're having a look at them, if the time's right, we will just help her along with it. We have got in here, this is the barley silage. Now, although it smells really nice, the cows aren't really ecstatic about it. They are eating it. They're sort of picking their way through it. What we would like, if we're going to do this sort of thing next time, we're not going to let it, we didn't really have a choice, because it wasn't our barley that we cut. If we're going to make barley silage again, we're going to cut it a little bit sooner so the ears aren't so long on them. What we're a little bit nervous about is if they get one of these ends in their eye, it'll give them something called silage eye, and then you've got to have them in and look at them then. But it smells nice, but they're not overly keen on it. They are eating it. Right, let's walk through and have a look at the young heifers and the young steers. This morning we were opening some bales, and I'll cut into some video of that because that was quite interesting. Where we had two different types of combine on the farm this year, we had an opportunity to show you the straw that was coming out of them. We had a rotary combine and a straw walker, our straw walker combine, and I wanted to show you the difference in straw quality from the combines. So that's the reason we choose straw walker combines at the end of the day. I'll show you that now. Right, I wanted to show you this because it's a cool comparison between two different types of combine from the summer. So this one here, if we pick out the straw, you can tell, let's have a look, you can tell it's all short, very short, mangled, and we suspect that might have been one of the ones that came from Jim's farm because they use rotary combine. And just unwrapping them, this bale is going to go nowhere. As soon as I pull the string, it's going to unwrap just here. Now the difference between the straw walker combine, we undid a bale out here with the cows, and straw wasn't very good this year anyway, but you can see here it's a lot longer, it's not as mangled, and it'll actually roll out lovely. It'll roll out all the way around the yard, whereas these ones from the rotaries, they sort of just explode. And I'll try and do this one-handed. It probably won't work. Now, a trick you can do is unravel it backwards on itself, which it wants to roll that way, so we'll pull it backwards. But you will see, you can just see, it's in bits, tiny bits, and that's just a different type of combine. There's nothing wrong with the combine does the same job essentially, but the straw quality at the end is different. And I was hoping to get 2 bales that were completely different to show you, but we'll pull this, and what happens is it just comes out in a complete clump. Whereas if you get one out the Walker combine, you can unroll it all the way around the shed nice and easy. These ones are a bit more tricky, you got to do a lot of forking. Right, so we've seen a bale from the rotary combine. I think this is one from our Walker combine, so you'll see a definite comparison. You're going to push it. So you can just see straw quality straight away, longer. You know, the straw wasn't brilliant this year, so but straight away I can see that's longer, and the bale holds together a lot better, and it makes a difference for us when we're rolling out in the shed. It rolls out a lot easier, but so that's the reason we have a straw Walker combine. So now we are in with the young heifers, and it will soon be time to choose. What we will do is have all the South Devon heifers out of here, and they will go off into another shed, because once we start having calves it's going to get very busy over in with the cows there, so we have to start moving cows and calves around the shed. The shed at the back there with the straw in, we're slowly emptying the straw out of there. We won't need it straight away, but what will happen is all these heifers will go into the back shed with the steers, and that will free this shed up. As the cows are having more calves, we will start moving them around into this shed. Once this shed's full, then we'll put the barriers up for the shed over there, and then we'll move them on to there. That way there's plenty of room for everyone. Yeah, but the heifers here are looking brilliant. They're all growing, they're getting big, and they grow phenomenal. They grow by the day, it's mad. We're going to go into the steer shed because I've got a little mate in there who's taken a liking to me. Before we go to the steer shed, let's have a look at the silage. Right, silage quality this year has been, it smells good enough to eat. That smells, I can't describe the smell. It's like apples, and I don't know how to describe it, but it smells beautiful, and the young heifers here love it. The grass was very short, you can see how short the grass was, look, but they are loving this. And the majority of the silage this year has been phenomenal, really good. We'll go and take a look at the silage stack in a minute, but yeah, and these guys are like they're eating it faster than we can put it out for them. Right, so we are in with the steers now. What is that on the front of your face there, mate? Like he's been scratching. Where is my friend in here? In here there is a cow, a steer, number 72. Here he is. He's always got to be, every bunch there is always one little character. How we doing, mate? And I put a thing on the post the other day, we should give him a nickname, because you will see this one every day. When you're in here, he comes up, has a nice little scratch, then you point. You know, it's weird, there's one in every bunch, one like this. And someone on the Instagram said you should call him Dallas, as in Dallas Keith, because he likes to lick. So I thought that name would be pretty good, Dallas, eh? And right, so in the next couple of days we have got the dreaded TB test, and they are actually coming to do a blood test at the same time. So you have your normal TB test, and the ministry come with some other people and they will do a blood test at the same time. We're dreading it a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. You got to do it, no questions. Hey pal. But what happens with the blood test is usually, you know, they're going to come in. We know there's going to be losses, so they're going to take some of these cattle, and it's usually your big ones like this old boy here. They're the ones that end up going, and it's a shame, but you can't really do anything about it. You know, we don't want to have TB. We'll do anything we can to get away from it, but for some reason we can't shake it. Once we get the results back from that, I won't do a video on it because it's not a very good day. Everyone's pretty, you know, everyone's high. No one's enjoying themselves because they know what's going to come from it. But once we get the results back, I'll let you know what happened there. Usually they're looking at taking 10, I can't remember, was it 10%? I think the first test they took about 30 animals, I think. But we'll, yeah. Alright mate, is that nice, is it? Licking my boot. Hey? He's a nice old boy as well. Yeah, we'll let you know the results from that, and we'll have a bit of a moan as we always do, but nothing will change because it's a flawed system and that's just the way it is. Right, Dallas mate, see you later. It is a cracker of a day today. Absolutely beautiful. Right, so the silage stack, we are coming round the back of it at the moment. At the back here, this is all the barley silage. This here is the first silage that came in. That's very good silage, and yeah, we haven't actually got much bad silage at all really, and there is a hell of a stack there still, so we're not really worried about the food situation at the moment. We've got another stack at one of the other farms with another 200 or 300 bales in, so we're not worried about quantity of food at the moment. There's plenty there to go at. As the cows start having calves, you will start using more and more bales a day. You'll go from 4 or 5 bags a day to all the way up to, in March time, 10 bags a day. So that'll soon quickly deplete, and we may end up getting our other, you know, we'll go up and get the other lot if we need to, but I don't think we will. We should have quite enough there. This stack here is the haylage bales that we did at the end of September. And that's quite interesting actually, because the farmer said at the time he wasn't sure about them. They were a bit dry. It looked a bit dry in the row, he said. But we wrapped them up regardless, and we've taken a few out to the customers and they've opened them, and you can't really call it haylage. It's pretty much wrapped hay in a bale, but it's quite funny actually. Even though it's not got the haylage smell to it, it's more like a wrapped hay bale. The girls are still asking for them, so yeah, it's a win-win. The hay inside them is beautiful. It smells like a summer's day in there, so, and they certainly won't go to waste because our cows will woof them quicker than anything. But they are starting to go down. We had a big stack here before, so yeah, we are starting to get through those, and I don't think with the year this year there'll be any waste, because everything's short this year with grass and stuff. So stone pile, it's a bit of an eyesore on the farm, but we use a heck of a lot of stone. So we have a local firm and they will just keep tipping stone here, and you know, it looks like a big pile there, but when you get into a project like there was a pile like that last year and we used half of it just in there, so it looks a lot, but it's not a lot, if you know what I mean. This is some of the grass out the back of the farm there. It's actually very, very short still, but the guys from Astley Bridge, if you remember those guys, they have a lot of sheep, and I think they will bring the sheep over here. We'll do a video on it when they come, because they bring the dogs and all the sheep, and it's brilliant. You know, we'll film them rounding up the sheep, and we'll chew all this down right down to we'll chew it right down to as minimal as we can. The sheep do a fantastic job. They take it right down, and then after that we leave it, and the hay grows back real quick, tillers out, and you get a real big thick crop of hay afterwards, or silage, or whatever you're trying to do with it. But the sheep do a fantastic job at that. as well as fertilising the ground because they poo all over the ground. So we'll have Jack, hopefully when they come and do that, we'll have Jack come and talk about that with us, because that would be a cool video, especially if we get a day like today. That'd be brilliant. You can probably see in the background there, that is the muck heap. We've got nearly 2 years worth there now, so we're gonna have to spread a load of muck this year, so that'll be a cool video as well. But that'll be later on in the year, I suspect, unless we can get any on. If we have a dry first half of the year, we might be able to spread some, I don't know. We've had over 300 mils of rain, more than we normally would in a year, and it was really wet, and I'm talking it was crazy wet. So ever since we drilled, it has just been non-stop rain. And then just over Christmas time there, we had a heck of a lot of rain in a short amount of time. I'll show you some pictures of this. Was Christmas Day. It actually came up a lot higher than this when on Boxing Day the waters raised even more. I didn't get any footage then, but the waters were pretty high on Christmas Day. And I'll show you some of the pictures of the floodland there, where we usually keep the cows. And yeah, it's just been very, very wet end to the year last year. We'll talk about the crops across the way. So at the back of the farm there, where we planted some barley, the first field is just terrible. We pretty much decided, I think we're going to rip it up. Farmer will probably make a full decision later on, but the first big field is going to be ripped up, and we'll start again with that because it's just so wet out there. It's crazy. But most of it is all right. There's another little field that we planted which was wet. You saw that before. That is still going to be a disaster, that one, but it's only a tiny field, that one. We'll go and do a crop checking video. We'll go and do one of those in the coming weeks and see how everything's progressing. This is all of our straw. And right, so this shed would normally be the shed that is full of hay, and we would use this first. This is the shed we'd use first. The shed round the back we would fill as well with hay and straw, but yeah, there were just, you know, there wasn't enough grass last year, so we didn't fill it up. So we put all the straw in here, so we kept it nice and dry. We've got another shed full of straw at one of the other farms, and we've got some straw that we need to move off a field, but it's just too wet to get on at the minute. You might see that might be one of our other videos, is going to collect some of that. It was last year's straw. It wasn't very good, but it will do for the outside where the cows are. So we will be going to go and get that if we can get a good frost, or you know, or if it just dries up a little bit, where we can get around the fields there to go and get it. It makes a, you know, when you're picking up straw off the fields, it makes a mess when it's soft and wet. Let's go and look at the bulls. This is Conrad, this is Musketeer, and Lucas on the end there. Lucas and Musketeer are Chevrolet bulls, and young Conrad here, he is a South Devon bull. We had Norman here last year as well. He is since gone. We are going to need another bull this year, so that is something in the next few weeks we are going to look at, because young Lucas here is rocking himself a double bedroom. He got the games room over here. He got, you know, he's chilling, and he's winding the others up, saying, "Yeah, look at my double room. You guys only got single rooms." Anyway, so we are going to be looking for a new South Devon bull pretty soon. So hopefully we can go off with the farmer and go look for a bull with him. We'll see how that goes with COVID and what have you. But yeah, that's the situation with the bulls at the minute. Young Musketeer was, if they're eating the short silage, he is having problems with his food, but when he's on the longer silage, it doesn't seem to affect him. So we're trying to pull out the stack long. You know, this stuff's a bit longer, so that's nice, that's lovely. Yeah, the longer silage does him better, and hopefully next year everything will be a bit longer, and we shouldn't have any more issues with that. But if he's on the short silage, he sticks his tongue out. He gets it all stuck at the back of his throat there, but he's fine. He's having a little snooze there, as you can see. dreaming about cows. Just to finish off, we've been most of the time over Christmas we've actually spent in here having a little clean up, because it's like Aladdin's cave in here. It's a store of magical things in every crevice, but we've been having a good clear out. We've got a load of scrap to go away, and we've been having a good go outside as well. There was a big scrap pile down on the floor here, so we've cleaned that up, and just, you know, we're getting on top of things in the winter. It's about cleaning up and getting ready for the busy seasons ahead. But yeah, this is very much a work in progress. We've still got a hell of a lot to do in here. A lot of stuff to move about, stuff to put away. It looks a bit of a mess at the minute, but once we're finished it will look 10 times better and a little bit more organised. Bit of a work in progress in there at the moment. That is where we'll leave it for now, and what we'll do is bring you an update with what happens with the TB test and see where that goes. It's not going to be good news either way. There's going to be animals leaving the farm. That's just the way it is. We'll hopefully the farmer will sit there and talk us through it on the next video. It's a tricky subject, you know. Yeah, but that's where we'll leave it for now. Make sure you're subscribed, and if you're looking to support the channel in any way, you can head down below, get yourself some merch, and yeah, thanks for watching as always. Cheers.